Hey everyone, it's Colin with Colin Vernon Racing. Today we are going to do something a little new and interesting, something a little bit fun. I was invited down to Speedworld here where they are opening and starting their own simulation setup inside there. They currently have 4 rigs and it's called Simul8Racing. And this is in Winnipeg, Manitoba at Speedworld. So let's go in and check this out. So right in here is 2 of their motion rigs. They have D-box setups, Hussenveld pedals, Simucube. They're racing on the Nordschleife. As you can hear, the D-box is going pretty good. 2 full PCs, air conditioning. It's pretty incredible. More wheels, they have GT wheels, full round wheels. Again, air conditioning, individual fans that are set up with controllers on the rigs. Right here, handbrake, 2 pedal set. The other room has 3 pedal set. V&M shifters. It's pretty cool. They got a very nice setup in here. They have 3 more rigs coming that'll be here in about 6 weeks. So here we'll show the track of Speedworld. Got a bunch of carts, lockers, track. Over there they have a mechanical station to work on the carts. You can actually hear it right now. One is being worked on. Helmets. Area to show for placement on track, leaderboards. Okay, so we are at Simulate, and as you can see, there is the simulators right behind me, and there's 2 drivers out there right now on track. And we are going to introduce the owners of Speedworld and Simul8Racing. Here they are. Here's Mark and his wife, Bridget.
Hi.
So, why don't you tell me about, like, you know, how this place all came to be and getting into sim racing, doing the karting and professional driving and stuff.
That's a 2-hour, 3-hour conversation, but we'll try to
we'll
try to break this down.
Yeah.
I am a huge fan of racing. I grew up in a racing family, and so I got this crazy idea for an indoor kart track in Winnipeg in 2001, and in 2004 we opened our doors, and it was right around that time that I met Bridget. And so she's come along with me on this journey to have Speedworld, and we've both been very passionate about racing. We both race cars as well as having Speedworld, and yeah, things just have gone really well, and we just love racing. And at some point, we were looking at improving Speedworld's barrier system, which led us to going to other kart tracks, and we were at another kart track in Edmonton that there was a simulator racing business there, and we checked it out, and we got this nutty idea of having simulators, like a racing simulator, to, you know, enhance everything else. And so Bridget started Simul8Racing. I started Speedworld, and she started Simul8Racing, and so now we're both business owners.
Yeah, so when we tried the simulators at West Edmonton Mall, we were so impressed. We thought, this is great. And initially we thought, let's bring one in for our customers at Speedworld. We think people would really enjoy it. But that quickly spiraled out of control when we visited Advanced Sim Racing in Montreal, who supplies all of our simulators. Once we went to Advanced with some friends, we had a chance to try racing against each other and racing that quality of rig that they actually offer. We were just blown away. What was initially 1 or 2 units turned into 4 units immediately, just 2 months after being in Edmonton, And quickly after that, we decided, hey, I think
we need more.
We should add more.
Yeah.
And everything's really spiraled, and we've since rented some space at another location, which will be developed into a full-service simulator lounge with food and drink and 10 racing simulators for you to race with your friends. In the meantime, obviously that's a huge build. We have 4 simulators right now, and soon to be 7.
3 more on the way soon.
3 more on the way.
About 6 weeks, we should say, 6 to 8 weeks, fully ready to go.
They're scheduled to ship on July 5th, so hopefully, fingers crossed, they are running on time. And we're developing a separate area here inside Speedworld temporarily to house those units until we can finish our build next door for Simulate. But we love seeing people do the simulators, having fun, and we are, like Mark says, we're very passionate about racing. And the simulators are something that's really inclusive, which is also important to us.
Our vacations are going racing in the U.S.
Well, you were saying a bit ago that you've done some professional track time, right? We actually we did the Nürburgring last year, and but Bridge and I both race cars with the Sports Car Club of America, and she's won a couple of championships with them, and I've had some podium finishes. Which is cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, but we love the idea of the simulators, looking at what's happening in the world. Racing simulator businesses and racing simulator sales are really just exploding, and I can see why. It's super fun, very inclusive. You don't need any experience. There's, not a huge entry level. Plus, you're not going to get injured. So the odds of getting injured are extremely slim on simulators. They're not non-existent, of course. It's never non-existent, but extremely slim. So for people who are concerned about crashing their car or even crashing the go-karts, there are people who don't want to participate because they have maybe neck injuries or back injuries. This gives them the opportunity to still participate with their family, their friends, businesses, to really go out and still enjoy racing and
get the experience.
Yeah, totally get the experience. So we're looking forward to getting our 3 additional sims from Advanced. We plan on having those ready to go for the fall and starting a fall sim league. So if anyone's interested in that,
there's a lot of people who have a rig at home, but their friends don't have rigs, and they want to race against their friends. Well, how do you do that? Well, you come here and you try ours. You and all your friends can be on equal rigs, and you can all race each other on whatever track you choose, whatever car you choose.
And one of the cool things you guys have set up in there is their intercom system, so you can all talk to each other between the rigs as well, which is very cool.
That's something you can't do in the karts. I know people in the karts would like to trash talk their friends while they're racing in the karts.
Get out of the way.
You can do that in the Sims. You can follow right on their bumper and tell them how terrible they are.
And you can see when they start getting super intense about the sim racing because they stop talking. So at the beginning of the sim races, everyone's laughing and joking, and you hear it from the lobby. You can hear them laughing and trash talking each other on the sims and the headsets. And then a short while later, everything's silent. We're like, oh, are they still is everything okay? So we look through the windows to check them out, and you see that they're just tense, intense, focused, and now they're concentrating, and there's no more talking. Now it's about lap times, about results. So we're really excited about this venture, and Mark was passionate about opening Speedworld all those years ago, and I guess you could say that Simulate is my baby, because it's something that I really wanted to do after we first tried those simulators, and I kind of spearheaded that.
Which is super cool, because this kind of goes hand in hand with each other. You can jump on a real track, drive some karts, kart around, then get off, go straight into a sim, and smash into the wall 100 times if you want to, and or just run practice laps and learn and train. Because the sims that they have here at Simulate, you can train on these. These are high quality, very good simulators. So they're full D-box motion. They got Simucube bases, Hussenfeld pedals. They're fully loaded. Like I said, you can intercom communicate through the headsets with each other. My wife and I just did that. That was very, very cool. And they have lots of plans for this place.
Well, I'll tell you, just as far as training goes, I have been racing cars with the Sports Car Club for many years, and I've never won in my own car in the US. When we go to the US, that's where all the best go. And I've never won in my own car down there. But what I did was I have my car in the Sims, and I've been practicing on my car in the Sims. And we just got back from the States, and I won the event in the States, and it was solely because I learned how to drive my car on the sims really fast. And when I got in real life down there, I just applied what I learned down there, and I won down there too. So I'm super excited for the future, you know, being able to apply what I've learned on the sims to the real racing.
Which is awesome. It's very cool that you can do that. And obviously that's been confirmed now a few times with professional drivers to be able to do that, which is, I don't know, I think it's awesome how far simulation has come. Just in the last even 5-6 years, it's grown exponentially in terms of the technology, not just, you know, people getting involved with it. But so what's the plans a little bit down the road with Simulate once you get in there? Like, you're planning basically to create like a lounge and a hangout spot so where you can go with your friends and not just for the racing aspects.
Yeah,
but
it's going to be basically like a motorsports lounge. So of course we'll have the racing simulators, so people come in and challenge each other at corporate events, birthday parties, friends coming and hanging out, watching, you know, Formula One races.
Yeah, Formula One watch
MotoGP,
parties and stuff.
Yeah, all those things. They can, you know, between their rounds on the sims, they can stop for a beer, maybe some, you know, nachos or whatever, and sort of like talk about how great that time was, and just really creating more community around the motorsports element that is in Winnipeg, and trying to just grow the simulator.
There's a lot of car people in Winnipeg.
There is.
And racing enthusiasts, and it's wild considering where we live in our long winters.
Right.
But they're here, and you know, and this is where I grew up, and like it's amazing. And if we can do something to help that community or another place to entertain that community, we're gonna do it. Because that was the whole thing with Speedworld. Is like, I'm a racing guy, and I was like, why is there nothing to do in the winter for racing related except for snowmobile racing in Winnipeg? And so that's why.
in Beausejour there, the sled racing, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And although the simulators, they're not for children, right? So that is a question that we also get: is can my kids?
Smart
use the
point,
sims?
yeah.
Realistically, drivers have to be at least 5 feet tall or taller, and we do recommend that drivers be like 14 years of age or older. Mostly because we use those Simucube 2 Pros that do have a lot of feedback on them. So
They're very strong.
they're
yeah.
very strong. And so for young children, it's not something that we would recommend, nor would we allow, like if they didn't meet that 5-foot height requirement.
Right.
They simply won't be able to reach the controls, but we do want to remain really inclusive. So, you know, if someone has no experience, they can start out on an easy car, and then you get up to those higher level expert cars for people, you know, maybe they want to try a more difficult track. So like, what I love about simulators is that it's really endless. There's so many options and varieties of things you can do in order to grow your own, you know, racing experience. Like, you have none, you can start off simple and just build up until, you know, now you're doing the Nordschleife in a F2004 or a McLaren, you know, but starting out, you can literally take an Abarth around if you really have no experience and want to just learn the track and learn sort of where you should be on the track. So there's really just so many options that make it exciting and really inclusive for all levels of experience. And there's no saying, I'm heavier than you and that's why I lost that race. Because I hear that every day.
In the carts, we hear that every day.
I lost because you're lighter or whatever. That's not valid for the simulator. So if someone has said that to you or someone said that to anyone in the past, bring them down for the league, and you know,
It's an even playing field for sure.
It's an even playing field.
And it's so much fun.
Yeah.
Well, start putting together your group of people, seven people to do a league, and we'll start
So
doing
you
a league.
can make your own teams, essentially,
Yeah.
of friends, and then come down together as friends. And then eventually, when you start doing the league racing, you can start having teams versus teams and stuff
For
like
sure.
that.
Yeah,
Having a little bit of a
you'll pick your
leaderboard.
time, you know, maybe
Yeah.
you want to do it every 2 weeks or 3 weeks or every week. If you're really hardcore, want to do it every week. Pick a time, pick a day,
Yeah.
and we'll set that aside for you and make sure nobody else has booked the sims at that time. And we'll pick the tracks and cars for you, and so it's a surprise, so nobody gets practice beforehand. And you'll race for points.
We'll have an open league as well. There's a lot of people, like we have an open go-kart league here. So we get up to 30 people coming out every second week in the fall. And again, we do this league in the spring. And what's great is maybe you're passionate about go-kart racing or sim racing, but your friend isn't so passionate, but you want to sort of share that with other people who feel the same way. So you get to come down and meet people, and it's like it's sort of like intramural sports, you know, guys, girls, everything. They can come down, and it's a whole new friend group, you know, and we see them going out and enjoying Right now, since we don't serve food or drink, you know, they're going out and they're enjoying after their league race, they're going out for a drink and some snacks after. And we can't wait to be able to provide a location where people can come, do their racing, and then just hang out and have a good time and meet new people and have friends.
Give that whole experience with it all.
Exactly.
They don't have to leave
Well,
anywhere.
it'll be a night out. Like it's
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Do the
And-
karting, get in a real track,
Yeah.
real car,
Yeah.
leave, go over to Simulate,
Right,
enjoy
walk
a
across the
drink,
street.
walk across the street, go to Simulate, enjoy a drink, get on the Sims,
Right.
rip around.
Yeah.
Should be good fun.
Or if you got a car club, maybe the British Car Club wants to park all their British cars, there's cool British cars out in our parking lot, and then race around Goodwood and MGBs and Minis and Jags and whatever, and do all that stuff. That'll all be a possibility too.
Well, that's awesome. So, all right. So I do want to thank Bridget and Mark for having us down to come down and check out the Sims and check out Simulate. And we'll catch you on the next one.